Let me begin, Moin, by asking you, at the very first instinct, what led you down this path of automation? What were you trying to accomplish? What are the goals you had set? What was going through your mind when you set your first steps in automation, Moin?
So thank you for selecting Data Bank for this interview. So, automation, it improves efficiency, it improves accuracy, as well as it reduces processing time. So as bank is a service industry, our main target is to give quick service to the customer, to give proper service to the customer. That's why we have been using several activities to automate our processes. Earlier, what we are automating processing through scheduler, through web service and API. But there are some processes where API is not available from our software vendors. So that's we are doing using our manual user by our users. But when we heard about RPA, robotic process automation, that can replicate our user activity, what manually doing. So what currently our users are doing, that we try to automate through RPA.
Thank you, Moin Bhai. That's great to know. If I may also ask you, I know it's very early stages of your adoption of automation, but would you see this as a potential game changer, a potential competitive advantage for you as you scale this in your organization in the future? Do you see this that way at this stage?
Yeah, because it will reduce our time and it will improve the accuracy. Because what we have done, we started with one process. That is, in Bangladesh, when we open any account or any new customer onboarding after, we have to check the national ID. We collect the ID from the national ID from the customer, which is image and other information, and we have to verify it with our national ID database. But there was no API available from national ID system. So we are doing a manual process. We have user ID and password. Using that, our user access to the system and do the verification. But what we did first, we use this verification using RPA. So we download the data from our core banking system in Excel, and we automate the process or map the process with the RID system through RPA. So after providing the information in Excel, so what RPA is doing, RPA is verifying the national ID and date of birth, as well as RPA is taking the screenshot of the system, that is his photo, his signature, his other address and father's name, mother's name, everything. So earlier it was taking longer time, but using RPA we could do it very quickly and accurately. So we started our RPA process for NID verification. Later on, we automate other process also using RPA.
Thank you, Moin Bhai. There is a lot of discussion and a lot of points of view globally as we talk to customers on what is the most appropriate starting point as you start your journey towards automation. And there are multiple approaches customers have adopted globally. All of them, a lot of them are successful in many ways. But I'd like to know from you, in your experience, how did you decide on where to start your automation journey? Did you have a few processes in mind? Did you decide to take a very horizontal approach? Did you go after some core business processes, go to the banking domain? What is your thought, Moin Bhai, on the where to start question?
So I think starting point should be those repeating processes or bulk processes, which the bank is doing now currently, that can be automated through RPA as a starting point. So I can give you one example. I already gave one example, NID verification. Every day we are opening, let's say, 2,000, 3,000 account. But for every account, we have to verify the NID. So we started NID verification through RPA first. Later on, account opening. At the time of pandemic, our government declared, so you have to, all garments industry workers' salary should be given through account. So garment industry, the requesters are to open their account. So we got a lot of requests from the garment industry to open their account. Let's say 10, 20,000 accounts we have to open. So manually it was impossible. we use RPA process to open account. So it took very little time, and from the Excel data, government industry gave us Excel data. On the basis of that data, we opened account in the core banking system through RPA process. Another thing, so in Bangladesh, Bangladesh government decided lending rate should be 9% maximum. So earlier it was 10, 12, 13, 14%. So every account, loan account, lending rate should be 9%. So we are given only one time. So at that time we have 30,000 loan account. For that account also we use RPA process to reduce the loan rate from, let's say, existing rate to new rate. So 30,000 loan account rate we changed using RPA. And another one is at the time of pandemic, the government declared for, let's say, April and May months interest we cannot charge to the customer. That should be kept in a separate GL. So what we did, we had to give zero interest rate for these 2 months for the loan accounts. So that also we've done for RPA process. So this kind of thing helped, the RPA process helped us a lot. So in Bangladesh, we can say only Dhaka Bank did all the jobs quickly and timely.
So clearly, you have a very interesting challenge on setting the benchmark relatively high in terms of measures of success, Mohin bhai. So my next question is really about how do you propose to measure success as you go along this path of automation? What criteria are you looking to benchmark yourself against? You're clearly leading the industry at this point in time, but what are your measures of success for automation?
So currently, I can give another example. So currently, we are closing 33,000 current savings account because these are very old and dormant. So after completing all the process, what we identified to close the 33,000 account, we need, if we deploy 10 person, we need 3 months. If we do it manually, because for closing account, we don't have any API or web service. So instead of that, we deployed RPA. So we are hoping, we are now closing the account. We are hoping within 1 month, by deploying 2 resources within 1 month, we can close 33,000 accounts. So you see, if we did it manually, so we got 10 person for 3 months, but now we need 2 person, and we can do it in 1 month. This kind of thing. It is helping the bank as well as we are completing. It is reducing our cost as well as we are completing the job very quickly.
So I think it's fair to say that very soon we'll be hearing you talk about how you're scaling this automation project across the bank, across multiple processes and across every touch point for your customers. I'm very certain that we'll hear you say this about your experience very soon. My last question, Mohin bhai, I know this is early stages, but I ask this question to most of our senior customers. Look, it's always a tough call to embark on a new technology, on a new journey, and there are risks and interesting starting points involved. What is your advice at this stage, Mohin bhai, to those customers, those automation enthusiasts who are looking to make their first steps in the journey of automation? What is your 1 or 2 pieces of advice that you'd like to give them?
So I think, as I told earlier, so bulk process we can take as a first step. So we can identify one process which is taking longer time. So that process we can automate fast. We can show it to the management and other users also. They will know how it is saving the bank's cost and as well as it is improving the efficiency and other things. So if you can identify one process that is taking longer time, we can do it, we can show it to the management and other users, and we can take it as an example that can be used to replicate to automate other processes. I think this way every bank can start. So automation, this kind of automation helps bank many ways. One is it is taking less time. It is a cost saving thing. And another thing is, so when user changes, you have to train another person, everything. And But if you do one process automate through RPA, so this kind of thing, if any person changes, you have to just learn. One person need to learn how to run the RPA process, nothing else. So it will help banks also. So I think it will reduce manpower as well as training and other thing also. It will be reduced.
As you were saying this, Mohin bhai, I'm actually humbled to see that you're already starting to see